So fortunately, the nail that was back here wasn't set in all the way, and so I was able to get the pry bar underneath it, pull the nail out, and then re-nail it. So this is actually positioned a lot better than I originally had it. So I'm going to go ahead and nail the front part in, and then I'll do this last piece here, and that should be done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start drilling some holes, some countersink holes to go in through the studs and into the wall sill or sole plate. So. So how I did is I started straight and then I kind of turned and went straight down. So you can get started and then, finish off by going diagonally into the wood. And I'm using 3-inch screws. Okay, so I've got all the screws in. So I've got one on each side of the wall stud, one in the front, one in the back. So I did that up to all 4 studs here. This corner stud I had to actually go in more through this side, and so I started in with the drill bit, and then I backed out, and then I went straight down, or not straight down, but down at an angle in here. So these are all done. Next thing I'm going to do is attach the metal brackets that go underneath, or that go along here, so that those seams are all firmed up. And that should take care of this. This section over here, move the camera a little bit so you can see it. This section right here, there's a little bit of a lip there. Again, that's because the old wall sill section that runs that way, the 2x6 or whatever the heck it was, is not the same width as the 2x6 that I bought at Home Depot. So I'm going to be probably shimming this up before I put any kind of plate here. So okay, so putting these brackets in, I had a choice between that and this. I decided to go with this one just because it's a bit shorter. This one's about the same width as a 2x6, and I wanted to have a little bit of space just in case I missed or something. Anyway, on this side where the pipes are, there's very small area between the edge of the wood and the pipe. I had to take the middle teeth off. And how I did that was I just took a hammer and carefully hammered them down, and then took like a pair of pliers like this and just wiggled them off, and they popped off. So that was really easy. So I'll be putting these in like this. So I've already done this side and the other side for the big pipe, and now I'm working on the small one. Okay, so I'm hammering this one in place. What I did was I held it up first, just so it's a little bit off the floor. It's probably like, looks like about 3/8 of an inch. So I held it up, hammered in on this side first, started that going, and then came over and hammered on this side. Just kind of go back and forth until they're all in. That takes care of that one. That's all done. Now I'm going to go on the other side, and I don't have to remove the middle prongs on this one because on the other side there's a lot more meat over there, and I don't have any risk of hitting the pipe on that side. So I'll go over there and do that. Okay, so the other side's done. And so I'm pretty much done with all the brackets on this one. Like I said, I'm going to put a shim here. And so before I can put the other brackets for that part in, I have to put a shim in. Back side I could probably do now, but I think I'm going to may shim that up a little bit too. But so that's it. Next step is basically cleaning all this up again. I'm going to have to move the plumbing. I have a new vanity sitting in the living room. I'll show that a little bit later. But this plumbing here has got to move. I don't have to move the copper pipes, so the supply lines I don't need to move. But this has to move because the new vanity has a specific spot for the drain. So I'm going to have to move that over to the area between these two studs here. I'm going to have to figure that out because I got a couple electrical lines running through there. So good thing is I don't have to remove any. I don't have to move any supply lines at all, which is good. So the PVC is a lot easier to work with than the copper pipe, that's for sure. So okay, we'll talk to you soon.